Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good Thursday and Friday. Market is closed Monday, so we got a long weekend here, but I want to go ahead and get a video out, talk about some trades we made Thursday. I don't think I made any Friday, but I did make one Thursday, I believe it was, a couple Thursdays. So we're going to talk about that as we talk about our portfolio, and we'll jump into that here in just a second. But before we jump into that, I'd like to kind of give you an idea of some of the trades. We were dealing with TILRAY last week. TILRAY was going crazy. We did a couple of what I'd call one-day trade, and then we did one that was after hours and then sold early morning. We'll talk about that as we look at TILRAY. And then actually bought back in and ended up getting trapped in that TILRAY because of the way the timing went and everything like that. So we're going to talk about that and how do you deal with that once you get trapped in a trade like that. But it happens, and this TLRY that we had, we've had some of it for 2.5 years that we got rid of last week and made a pretty good profit on it. But it took 2.5 years, some cost averaging, and so we're back in that situation again. Hopefully it's not 2.5 years, but we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Also, the market was pretty good last week. We had a real good week going until I got trapped in that TLRY. But as far as what we pocketed last week, it was a great week for that. But the overall week was flat for me. But we've had a good year so far and still sitting at 56, 57% cash. So, all right, so let's jump over there and take a look at that portfolio. Okay, so here's our portfolio. As you can see here, Friday was it was a flat day. I think we had a couple here that looked like they were in the green, but just a few, just a couple. So let me take a look and see what's going on here. So these two here were the only green ones we had, KO and Akamai, and they were just barely green. So let's just take a look at our Akamai and our 5-day chart on that. We just bought that one this week. So, but let's take a look at that 5-day chart on it. So you can see it was way up here. It dropped down. That's when we started purchasing it, and we've got that and in our two IRAs. So we're going to hang on to that one. That's the one I've watched for a long time, and we did get a little green, so it does look like maybe the bleeding stopped. The volume was a little heavier than normal, but nothing crazy. Just watch for that one. Hopefully that one will tick back up. They do cloud services, so been around a long time. All right. And next on the list is one we've traded several times, SPCE, that's Virgin Galactic Holdings. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart. We actually traded that one a couple times last week. Let's see what we did on this one. We sold this one the 11th February. We sold it for 6.6% gain. You can see our 5-day chart here. We got a good pop on it. We sold it 6.6% gain in our IRAs, and we actually sold it for a 7.71% gain in our cash account, and we only had that a day. I think those were two short ones that we did with that one last week and made over 6% on each time. So that one was good. We were trying to get it again on the 53 level. You can see it did get down to 52.30, but we missed it and I wasn't paying attention to it, and we could have got into it again, but we missed out on that. But we're going to try that again. If it gets to 53, we'll probably be buying that one again. So look for that if it takes a dip. The reason it did this, they were supposed to have a flight that got canceled or something, and that's why it dropped like you see here. And then it came back up and then sold off towards the end of the day. So that one's a good one. Good to us here lately. UVXY, that's our volatility ETF, and it's not a lot of volatility in the market, so that one went down some more. Usually the area there is about $9 to $10, so we're in there. On our IRAs, I think we may still have some of that. I can't remember if it got in the cash count or we sold it. I believe we sold it in the cash count. But even if we didn't, that's okay. We're just holding that one in case the market gets crazy. Nothing that we're going to make any quick money off of necessarily, and unless there's just something absolutely nuts that goes on in the market, that one can go up really quick. All right, Cliff, we did buy back into that one last week as well. We are in the green on that one, holding up pretty good with that one. So that might be one that we can sell next week. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart. All right, let's see here. All right, so you see the big drop here, and then we got into it. I forget what price we got into it last week, but we did get into it. So it's been very close to that 6% level that we like to get. A couple of times you can see here, I think we're close to 6% on these levels here. So I think we're sitting around 4.5% right now on it as far as being in the green. We do have to cross all three accounts. So we'll be watching that one really close next week. Maybe one that we can pocket some money on and just start the week out really good. Again, the market's closed on Monday, so we'll be really focused on that on Tuesday. But that's one of our still stocks. SH, another one that we've got that's our ProShare short S&P 500. As long as the S&P goes up, that one's going to go down. So that's what happened Friday. The S&P was up a little bit towards the end of the day, so it ended up in the red. KO, Coca-Cola Company, that one's been doing halfway decent. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart on this one. Yeah, so you got a tick going up here on the 5-day chart. This one here, you got a 3.24% dividend, so not worried about getting out of this one anytime soon. We may collect that dividend once or twice, just depending on how quick it gets that back up to 6%. We're down on it right now. And here's the one, the star of the week last week. This one had gone absolutely crazy last week, as you can see here. Just nuts. And we made a day trade this day here, really good day trade. And then we made a trade in the post market, and we were able to wake up early enough to sell it. We actually sold that for, let's see here, we sold it in pre-market for an 8.8% gain. So we sold it for an 8.8% gain. We sold out of it last week, and we day traded it more or less twice. And then what I did after when I got up and I saw that order had filled at 71.80, I decided, well, if it comes back down to that 66 level, because that's where I bought that time, I said if it comes back down to that 66 level, I'll go ahead and take it. And I really didn't think it would fall down to the 66 level, before the market opened. That was a pre-market order only, so it would have expired if the market opened and that order had not filled. But that order filled shortly after I went back to sleep. So it filled at 66, and by the time I woke up, and I actually woke up before the market, and this thing was down pretty bad. So I said, well, I'll just ride it out and see what happens. Well, this is what happened. It just kept falling. It hasn't stopped falling yet. So down to 29 something, $29. So we got in at 66, and we're holding at 29 right now. So this is what can happen to you when you're dealing with these stocks that are shooting straight up like that. But here's my deal. The reason I didn't sell out, because I don't like to sell for a loss for one thing, but you look at this fall and you think, well, you should have took your losses. Well, that's just not the way I do it. What I do is I'll say, well, okay, is the company broke? And the answer to that is no. Okay. Is the market broke? No, the market's not broke. So what's broke? The stock's broke. Okay. It broke bad. Okay. But so does that mean get rid of the stock, sell for a huge loss just because the stock's broke? I don't think so. The company's not broke. So I'll hang on to it for another 2.5 years if I need to. I'll cost average it when I see this thing settle down and start to trend back up. It won't take much to cost average that and back to a good level. So we'll do that at some point, but I'm not going to worry about it until I see this thing stop bleeding, and I'm not going to worry about it till I see it turn up a little bit. But this thing will be back up to the $40, $50 level. It wouldn't surprise me if it's not before this year's over with. Now that 66 level we bought at is pretty high, so that's going to be a while probably before we get there. So we're going to have to cost average it back down. I'm going to say to the $40 level or so, and that won't take much. It won't take much if you go and buy right now. If you buy the same number of shares you bought right now, let's say you buy some at about $29, you're probably looking at a cost average price of around $45 or so. So you can do it if you just go match the shares you bought, and you'll be back at the $45 level. But you don't want to do that until you see this stop. So I'm going to wait and see how that goes, and then I'll cost average. And the good thing is here is I did not buy this in any of my other accounts, okay? So this was just strictly one account I was dealing with. So I can definitely cost average by buying those same number of shares in each account. And then when I do, I've got a good price on it across the board. Maybe not in that one account, but in the other two, it's going to be pretty good. So right now, I mean, you could probably buy some in one account and you'd probably be back to even pretty soon. But I'm not going to do that until I see it stop. I got to see it stop before I start worrying about adding more of this. But for the year, what we've made on this stock is pretty good level. I mean, I'm talking good money. So we're not disappointed. We are disappointed in the fact that we got caught in this thing. But for the year so far, we've made really good money on this one, so I can't complain. Now, overall, just because of this one trade, if I were to sell it, would be down for the year on this stock. So why sell it? Just keep it in there and just let it do its thing, and we'll watch it come back or something. But you can see this is pretty ugly. It fell quick, and so we're not gonna worry about it. We're gonna just hang on to what we got. That's what I do. I don't like to sell for a loss. Again, first shares that we sold this week for this stock were $155 and then $85, but they were cost average down to 24 level and sold around 30. So that's just what we do. We're going to just see how far it falls and just cost average it when it looks good to cost average. So, but that's the danger that you run into sometimes when you're playing with fire. You'll get burned. So we got burned, but you're not burned until you sell it. Okay. XSPA, that's the one that's testing the airports. We did sell out of that one last week, so we're gone out of that one. We'll probably remove some of these that we're not in anymore. NKLA, that's one of our larger holdings. It's been on a slow bleed here lately, so we need this one to stop that and turn back up. HTBX, we're still holding that one, I believe. I can't remember if we sold that one or not. I think we're still holding it, but that's one we need to get rid of if we still got it. We are holding X. It's a pretty good size stake in that one right now, and let's just take a look at X, see what it did last week. Let's take a look at that chart. You can see it did have a down week, but it's just more or less one day, and the rest of the day is pretty much steady there. So nothing crazy going on there. It's been holding up that 620 level pretty good, 1620 I mean. So that's a good level. If you go back and look at this month's chart, let's see here. If we go 6 months, you'll see this is the level we're at right now. It's holding up pretty good. So if it can just hold that, I think we'll be all right. We'll hold it until another trend up. But you're hearing a lot of talk already about infrastructure, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can get past this impeachment stuff now that it's over, and once they get this stimulus package out, then they'll start talking infrastructure. And they may start talking that before they even get the stimulus package out. So who knows? But that one's going to be okay. I'm not worried about that one. ACB is another one of our pot stocks. All the pot stocks took a big hit last week after they ran so good. So that did the same thing pretty much as TILRAY. So we did sell this one we sold that one out. We're not back in that, so that might be one that we might start adding to before TILRAY since we're here. But I think that let me take a look at this chart here. Yeah, so this is the level to hold. Is this 1281, 1270 something, and it's already fell below that. So let's see if this one can hold this level here. If not, then I'm gonna start looking for here, which is the 11 area, and then I think for sure this 10 level is where I'll probably get in at. But I'm gonna watch this level here and see if it can hold it up. That's still a little high from last time we were in at the 10 level. Something we sold out somewhere above that. I know that. I can't remember where exactly we sold out, but we did good on it. And but this looks like a pretty good level too. So if it doesn't hold this level that it's at now, we're going to watch for this $11 level. Okay. So that's what we want to. That's what we want to kind of keep our eye on. Maybe jump into that first before we worry about cost averaging any TLRY. All right. So that's our portfolio. Again, for the week, we had it was an exciting week. We were up really good for the week, and then the TLRY trade got us, and we ended up the week flat as far as the level of portfolio. But as far as the level of actual trades made, we did really good last week on our trades. And you can't complain when you have a week like that on your pocketing of the money, and the level of the portfolio holding steady. So, and cash levels up 50-something%. So I'm real comfortable with where we're at as far as the year's gone. Man, this time is flying by. We're already through about a month and a half already. One thing I'm probably going to talk about in the next few videos, I may get into a little bit, is cryptocurrencies. I'm not an expert by any means, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube and actually starting to dabble in that a little bit, just to learn. I'm always interested in learning in new investments, and from what I've seen, this looks like the wave of the future on some of this stuff. I may be totally wrong about that. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an expert by any chance, but the ones I've purchased so far, and I'm doing in just little bitty purchases, is they've done really well. Now, one thing I've noticed right off the bat, the fees are kind of expensive just to buy, some shares of something, or coins, or pieces of coins, whatever you want to call it. But it's not hard to do. I'm using Coinbase as exchange, and they've got others like Gemini and some others. I like the Coinbase. It's pretty simple, not complicated at all. So we'll talk about all that sometime in the future as I get into it a little bit deeper. But I want to let you know I am dabbling in that a little bit, and maybe we'll be talking about that a little bit as well. Okay? All right, so we'll talk to you later. I hope you have a great week of trading. Don't forget we're closed tomorrow, but we'll crank up Tuesday. And I will be out of pocket this week, so I'll probably jump back on here maybe sometime early next week. But I'll try to get on here Sunday night, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. But if I can, I'll try to jump on here Sunday night next week. Okay? All right. Well, y'all have a great week of trading, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.